Today I'm going to talk about how to set up your still life for your still life painting. Keep in mind that when you set up your still life, it's going to inspire how your actual still life looks. So you're going to want to invest your time into making sure that your setup is well lit and nice and consistent. And how you arrange the produce or the vegetables and fruits that you have to buy will also set up what the composition is going to look like. So the spacing in between them, the lighting, the shadows, all of that makes sense. I want to talk to you about how I made this setup. This is just a cardboard box that I got, and I cut out the front of it here. So cut out the front, and I also cut off the two sides with an X-Acto knife. You can see here I left the frame still, and then I taped up two pieces of tracing paper on either side, so it's going to diffuse the lighting from these two light sources, which are desk lamps here. So this is the first step in terms of setting up your still life. The next thing will be to put in your objects, and you're going to arrange them. I would suggest to not have the colors right next to each other that are similar. That way it'll give you a little bit of opportunity for color mixing and mixing up the focus, the emphasis when you're painting them. So I'm just kind of spreading things out, and you can move these around left to right or front to back. They can overlap. And just here I'm kind of doing a basic setup here. And if you're not quite happy how things overlap, you can always kind of move them so that there's a little bit of space between. These distance between the objects here, this sort of negative space, if we have something closer on one side and further, like see, look at the distance between the orange and the peach here, or the peach in relationship with the mango and the apple, it's going to set up a relationship as you're copying this, as you're actually doing the still life painting, is going to help you to realize if things are in the correct position or not. So I just wanted to give you a really good kind of thorough heads up onto how to do this. I've got this tucked away in a corner of the room so that I can leave it out. It's not going to have to get moved. That way, once I like where everything is at and say, oh, I really like this right here. Oops, we don't want that to happen. Once I've got everything where I like it, I would take a photograph of that just in case things move. But this way, or this mango isn't well lit here, so I'm going to push it back a little bit. And you could always adjust the lighting like this. But once I get it in a spot where I like it and I think it looks good, here we can kind of see this is backlit, I'm going to not move it. So put this in a place where you know you can leave it out for a week. If that's not a possibility, what you could do is draw little marks with a pencil and label underneath, like a little circle here where the mango goes, and you can place it right in that spot. And you can look back at that photograph, like if I liked this right here, I could click and then notice where everything needs to be for the arrangement. And I could, if I need to, place it back in that original location. So that might not be the luxury that you have if you're using like your dining room table and you also eat there. Might need to move this into a different section. But this is nice because it's in the corner and I have two different desk lamps. At the end of the day, I can turn these off. But with them positioned like this, when I go to turn it back on, it's in the exact same spot and the lighting conditions aren't going to change. As you're working on your still life painting, one of the things that you should do is go very general to specific. And what I mean by this rule of general to specific is first get the shape right, then get the color right, then get the detail, then get the shading, then get the shadow. In other words, don't jump right into making something really detailed and specific right off the bat. Like for instance, if you just dive into all the detail here or here or here, what if you have to move it? What if you have to move that peach over a little bit? What if, it starts to mold or shift shape a little bit as it gets smaller? You now have to change that detail and put it in a different place. So it's good to work from general to specific. The next video I'm going to show you is how to do some thumbnail sketches to set up what your composition is going to look like, and then we'll start the underpainting. So signing off. Thank you.